Good evening, you're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. While we are transfixed with the India-Canada standoff, there have been a few developments that have relatively gone unreported. Firstly, after Ramesh Bidhuri scripted history in the hallowed halls of the Temple of Democracy, the Indian Parliament, by using language unfathomable, lowering the dignity of the lower house with communal slurs never witnessed before, the vilest, filthiest, the most bigoted, anti-Muslim communal slurs for a fellow Muslim member of Parliament, Danish Ali, from the BSP. The Member of Parliament, instead of facing what one would have thought severe action for his hate speech, seems to have, at least in terms of optics, been rewarded for it. With less than a month and a half left for elections in the state of Rajasthan, foul-mouthed Ramesh Bidhuri has been seemingly rewarded with a coveted poll post.
यही तो बीजेपी का असली चेहरा है। चाल, चरित्र और चेहरा यही है बीजेपी का कि किस तरीके से इस देश में नफरत फैलानी है। नफरत बाहर सड़कों पर नफरत की का बाजार लगता था, उन्होंने संसद के अंदर नफरत का बाजार लगाया। मैं दावे से कह रहा हूं कि जिस जिले के वो प्रभारी बने हैं, अगर वो वहां बीजेपी उनकी ड्यूटी लगाएगी, जो जैसा कि आप बता रहे हैं, तो उसका रिजल्ट देखिएगा, वहां के लोग जवाब देंगे।
तत्काल उसे बर्खास्त करना चाहिए था, पार्टी से निकालना चाहिए था। वाह बीजेपी की महिमा अपरंपार है। उस आदमी को टोंक जैसे जिले में सिर्फ इसलिए ले गए कि बता दें कि हम परवाह नहीं करते हैं, चाहे संसद हो चाहे संसद के बाहर हो, हम अपने किसी आदमी के खिलाफ चाहे जितना बड़ा अपराध करे, कोई कार्रवाई नहीं करे।
Now, this is the politics of it. There has been no official reaction from the BJP of Mr. Bidhuri being rewarded, or at least like in perception. You know, there's a state going to elections, and you give a responsibility to someone who will be seen as a leg up. A reward, an award of sorts. So no official reaction on that, but let's keep the politics aside. But for the common man, it may be and should be intriguing on why Ramesh Bidhuri, who was let off with just his comments being expunged, a show-cause notice by the Bharatiya Janata Party, and a stern warning by the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, Om Birla. What is baffling is why in less than a week, because what you see on your television screen, this speech was made, hate speech, I beg your pardon, was made on the floor of the Parliament on the 21st of September. Just within a week's time, on 27th of September, he, even though after he recorded the lowest moment of India's parliamentary proceedings, was seemingly rewarded. Elections in order can be the only explanation for this. With the Gujar community present in large numbers in the Tonk district, which has 4 assembly seats, including the one held by senior Congress leader Sachin Pilot. Now, the BJP believes Bidhuri can help it swing the votes, as he's from the same caste, Gujar. And in these 4 seats, like we pointed out, are Gujar dominated, one of them of Sachin Pilot, who himself is a Gujar. Bidhuri's responsibility would now be like the pole in charge of this district. Now, while continues to be bewildered with the reward for hate strategy, another incident has taken place. A young, seemingly mentally disturbed Muslim man was beaten to death in East Delhi on the 26th of this month. Allegedly, by onlookers, the reason was that he stole Prasad from a puja pandal. The police, however, claims the reason was less communal and more a case of mistaken identity. His family alleges otherwise.
क्या हुआ था, क्या पता लगा?
बस हमारे भाई, हमने वीडियो देखी थी, हमारे भाई को बहुत मार रखा, बांध के मार रखा। इतना बुरा मार रखा, हमने उसे वीडियो देखी हो। सही है।
क्यों मारा?
पता नहीं क्यों मारा था, हमने बस वीडियो देखी है सर, और कुछ नहीं थी।
A man killed allegedly for being Muslim because he took prasad from a pandal without permission. The other, a parliamentarian using the filthiest, vilest, bigoted language, and within a week of it, seemingly rewarded. The question that we ask on To The Point viewers this evening is, are we, as a country, normalizing and rewarding hate? Let's cut across to our panelists this evening. Joining me is Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst, Professor Sangeet Raghib, political analyst, also with us. Professor Raghib, allow me to begin with you. One would have thought that there would be severe, sharp criticism that would have come at the back of what Mr. Bidhuri had said. It's language that we really cannot use in studios, and I hope never to use language such as that in studios. But that happened on the 21st of September. Today we stand on the 28th, and yesterday we already know that Mr. Bidhuri has seemingly, at least optics would suggest, rewarded with a poll post.
First of all, Bidhuri comment was not accepted by the BJP, and it was criticized by all sections of the society. Secondly, what he said was not actually, was not attributed to the entire community and should not be attributed to the entire community. He was responding to the provocation that was made by Mr. Danish Ali. And therefore, it can be treated as a person who is responding to an individual, to another individual at the height of the provocation created by someone. So, to say that it was, it was a communal comment, I little bit disagree. Yes, the tone and the tenor was very bad. It should not happen. It disgraced the parliament, and I think that accordingly the speaker has warned him. But I think that does it give the, the Congress party or any other opposition party to make a filthy remark against the BJP? Who doesn't know what Imran Masood had said, that chop off the heads of Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of this country, elected Prime Minister of this democracy, and how he was rewarded by the Congress party? He was made the in charge of the assembly elections of Uttar Pradesh. He was given a prime position in the Congress party structure. This is not the only thing. Swami Prasad Maurya, the education minister of Bihar, spoke, language of hate against Hinduism, Sanatan Dharma, Ramcharitmanas. Who has cared to the Hindu sentiments? Did you find that the Rahul Gandhi is attributing even one of his, he is very frequent on social media, he is very active on social media, but I never found any of his comments on social media against this kind of diatribes against Hinduism or Hindu Dharma. Look at what DMK has spoken against, what DMK leader has spoken against Sanatan Dharma. Do you find that any of the opposition parties, non-BJP political formation have, spoke even a word against it? Do you think that these are not slurs? Do you think that it is not, against a particular religion? It is Gandhi's Sanatan. When Gandhi is saying that, I am Sanatani Hindu and I adhere to it, the same Sanatan religion is being abused on daily basis by the political parties.
Right. Okay, Mr. Raghi, as I'm going to bring in Tehseen Poonawala, but I'm going to ask you two questions. You said this comment that was made by Mr. Bidhuri wasn't a communal slur, it wasn't against the Muslim community, and it was more personal in nature and a retort to possibly what Danish Ali said. But I want to ask you, because what was allegedly said on the floor of the House is Mr. Danish Ali, whatever that he might have said, is he a terrorist, a Muslim terrorist? Is he a circumcised one? And does Mr. Bidhuri know that? Is he being asked to leave with, and I don't want to use that slur, a pimp? Is that because then it's a matter of defamation if it is a personal comment?
Yeah, I said at the very outset that such kind of language, abusive language against any individual, I'm not talking about the parliamentarians. You be in parliament or you are in outside parliament. The such kind of language cannot be the language of civilized society. But at the same time, I would be saying that such things happen.
It's never happened.
Let me. The same Danish Ali, in one of the meetings, when somebody raised the Jai Sri Ram, Bharat Mata ki Jai, he was physically trying to abuse somebody.
Sir, I want to ask you, let's not shift goalposts. I'll just come back to the question.
I'm not shifting goalposts.
So I'll just come back and ask the same question. You said these things happen. I'll just finish my question. You said these things happen. When in the history of Parliament have these things happened?
No.
Then maybe my research is very poor, sir.
My sentence was not complete. You know, I said that when there are elements of or atmosphere of provocation, sometime we also do. I'm talking about individual. I'm not talking about you, me, or somebody else. I'm just saying that at the height of provocation, sometimes anybody can commit such kind of things. That
No, sir.
may happen.
No.
That
I
may
really
happen.
doubt. I really doubt.
That may happen.
Right. I really doubt. I really doubt that would happen, especially on the floor of the parliament. I just want to open the debate. I want to bring in Tehseen Poonawalla into the conversation as well, but I would come back and ask you. You named Imran Masood and what the Congress did in terms of fed him after the kind of language he used, not in parliament, but outside against the Prime Minister. So are we to believe that somewhere down the line that the BJP has done the same by rewarding Mr. Bidhuri? But I'll ask that question, sir. But Tehseen Poonawalla, the fact is, in technicality, when we look at a suspension, sir, I'll just come back to you. Let me just bring in Tehseen, he's been patient. In technicality, when we look at why should anybody be suspended from the floor of the House is when they challenge the chair. They disrespect the chair. Now, for whatever reasons that be, at the time, the chair didn't deem it as being challenged or being disobeyed too. So, in technicality, he didn't need to be suspended.
Good evening, Preeti. At the onset, a very happy Anand Chaturdashi and a very happy Eid-e-Miladun Nabi to all your viewers and to all our fellow citizens. There are two issues here that we need to speak about. One is the macro issue and one is the micro issue. So let's speak first about the micro issue before we go on to the macro issue. The particular issue about the BJP MP, Mr. Ramesh Bidhuri. Mr. Bidhuri's language is not just atrocious, but when this happened, I was on various other TV channels and I made this prediction. I've tweeted about it that Mr. Bidhuri would be rewarded. This is the pattern in BJP. BJP rewards hate. And look at the constituency Mr. Bidhuri has been chosen to go and work in for the BJP in Rajasthan elections, the constituency of Tonk, where the Muslim population is extremely high, where Mr. Bidhuri himself is an OBC from the Gujar community, the same caste Sachin Pilot comes from, and we know that Tonk is Sachin Pilot's stronghold. So there is obviously an attempt at polarization by the BJP, and the BJP is a master at polarizing elections. So Bidhuri is rewarded. It's a pattern, not just for this. Look at Ajay Mishra Teni, his son mowed farmers down. Has he been removed as Home Minister? He's Home Minister. Look at Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, the Delhi police said he molested women at every opportunity. They gave a press conference on women empowerment. That's how the BJP model generally works. Now let's come to the macro issue, which is the only political party that benefits from hate in our country, and that is the BJP. No other political party benefits from hate. And I can give you specific examples. In the hate speech case, which is also the mob violence case, which is on my name, the Honorable Supreme Court asked for laws to be made and gave guidelines. This is the case on my name. I went to the then Home Secretary on the orders of the Honorable Supreme Court. Not only were the laws not formed, Amit Shah sir got up in Parliament and said we don't need to form any such laws. Again, who benefits from this? The fact is the BJP can only win elections by polarizing. Otherwise, the BJP can't win. Preeti, just look at a pattern from West Bengal to Kerala to Rajasthan to anywhere in the country, wherever there is Manipur, wherever there is violence. On one side of that violence is the BJP supporters. It could be anyone on the other side. It could be TMC, it could be the left, it could be Congress, it could be anyone. But there's always BJP supporters. They always are the common element. BJP's only claim to victory is violence. And therefore what Rahul Gandhi said is something very important. He said we must not allow the BJP to distract, because the BJP's growth is based on spreading violence. Nobody in their right mind would allow Ramesh Bidhuri to get the posting that he got. One last point. BJP has so many MPs. Why did Ramesh Bidhuri have to go? Why did he have to go to Tonk? The idea is to polarize, and that is where the BJP excels in.
All right, I'm going to come back. Mr. Ragi, I know you want to respond. Take that opportunity, but do answer this question as well. When one doesn't take strong action on hate speech such as this, and I would hope, somewhere down the line you do accept that it was a hate speech, but I leave it up that to your wisdom. But if action is not taken, the message that goes by is that if it can happen in the parliament, it's okay, where the regular society is concerned. What's also happened in the last 2 days is, Mr. Ragi, yesterday, a young, maybe mentally challenged Muslim man was beaten to death because he stole Prasad from a Ganesh Pandal. His family alleges, bystanders allege, it happened because he was Muslim.
It is the impression that because he was a Muslim and therefore it has been done. Since it has happened to a Muslim, this kind of interpretation is coming. Might be possible this could have happened to anybody else. Anyway, let me come back to that position. That why do we say that it is a reward to the BJP parliamentarian? The BJP has issued a so-called notice to Mr. Bidhui. In meantime, he is a legitimate party member. He is a parliamentarian, and the party has assigned a work. Why it should be treated that it is a reward? And second thing, I think that BJP set an example before the Indian politics by taking action against Nupun Sharma, right? How many political parties have taken action like the BJP has taken against its own spokesperson on an issue which she spoke on a television channel? Do you think that using slur against a particular religion is abusive, and it should be particularly the Sanatan Dharma should go unpunished? Should the political parties not take action? When the Nupur Sharma, when the BJP is setting an example, why Samajwadi Party is not taking action against her? Why Rahul Gandhi is not speaking even a word against DMK or against Swami Prasad Maurya or against Lalu Prasad Yadav Party? This is an important question. Why it should be one-way traffic?
Can you reverse that question, Mr. Ragi? Why is it that Amit Shah, the Prime Minister, hasn't said a word of someone using the floor of the Parliament to use that kind of language that he does? That question can be reversed. It's politics at play, sir.
I think that leader at that point of time, Rajnath ji, responded to this.
But the fact
he apologized.
The fact is ultimately there is no, in particular, I would hope every religion, and I think you would also hope, be respected with equal warmth. But I want to cut across. Tehseen, you wanted to answer? Please go ahead.
Yeah. Preeti, you will remember during the 2019 elections, the Honorable Prime Minister himself spoke to both India Today and your sister channel Aaj Tak about Pragya Thakurji, who still now faces terror charges. She's a terror accused even now. And the Honorable Prime Minister said, and I quote him verbatim, "Main inhe hriday se maaf nahi karunga." Amit Shah ji then in a press conference which India Today had attended and Aaj Tak said that within 10 days action would be taken. A show cause notice was given to Pragya Thakurji. She continues to make hate speeches. She continues to call Godse a patriot. No action has been taken. This is the pattern of the BJP. In fact, what Mr. Ragi says about the BJP, ex-BJP spokesperson, that's something I'm against. You threw her under the bus because it was foreign countries that objected.
Okay.
You did not stand up and you throw her on the bus when countries like Afghanistan objected. The fact of the matter is that the BJP uses hate to sow divisions in Indian society because that's the only way it can win. Just answer one question, and I think questions should be asked of Rahul Gandhi. The day Rahul Gandhi is Prime Minister, I promise you, Sangeet ji, Preeti Chaudhary here will be asking Rahul Gandhi very tough questions. She still asks the Congress. But let's ask one question to you, sir. Why isn't my judgment by the Honorable Supreme Court adhered to? Why is respected Home Minister saying we don't need laws? Does the Home Minister know more about laws than the Supreme Court? Why isn't it? Because the BJP benefits from it, sir.
All right. We can, you have 10 seconds, sir, please.
Preeti, Tehseen is making a premise that the BJP should not respond to the communal hatredness used by the Congress party. Is Sartan se juda, talking about Sartan se juda, is not a communal slogan? Is it not a kind of hate speech? And if the BJP is responding to it, you are raising the question, if you are indulging in the communal politics, ARC Visap is writing later specifically for a particular religion to vote for a particular political party. Is it not communal? And if the BJP is responding to that,
we heard you, Tehseen. I need to close the show, Tehseen. 10 seconds. Yes, I know you said that.
5 seconds. Sir, Tansi Juda is communal. Therefore, we are saying make a law and arrest them.
All right, with that, I've reached the end of this debate because ultimately, let's just hope we keep the politics out of it, but we haven't. Because if we had, then the likes of Mr. Bidhuri today wouldn't be polled in charge of Tonk district in Rajasthan. We leave it for our viewers to decide on what side of this divide that they want to stand on, and let's hope it's not communal. With that, a quick break to stay with us. On the other side is Rahul Kanwar.
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
ऐसा है, ये प्योर बदलाखोरी है। पंजाब में भगवंत मान हमारी ऑपोजिशन को जर नहीं पा रहे। एक तरफ केजरीवाल और भगवंत मान इंडिया अलायंस के अंदर घुसने के लिए हमारी दिल्ली की लीडरशिप के ऊपर बहुत दबाव डालते हैं, और यहाँ पंजाब में कांग्रेस को मार्जिनलाइज करने के लिए, आवाज बंद करने के लिए ऐसी गंदी हरकत की है आज। जो ये बोलते थे ना कि बदलाव की राजनीति कर रही है, ये बदलाव नहीं है, ये बदला है। ये तो भगवंत मान जैसे खून का प्यासा है। एंड लेट मी टेल यू आर द रिस्पॉन्सिबल मीडिया हियर, आई विल नॉट बी सरप्राइज्ड इफ ही गेट्स मी फिजिकली एलिमिनेटेड ऑल्सो। ये तो एक किस्म का, जैसे पुलिस वाले जो इस लेवल के हैं, ये पेड मर्सिनरीज की तरह काम कर रहे हैं। जैसे ना गुंडे बदमाश पेड होते हैं, ये भूल गए कि हम कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के रखवाले हैं, हम वर्दी डालते हैं। मेरे को इस तरह गिरफ्तार करके ये सिर्फ अपने उसने प्यास ठंडी की है भगवान में। आई डोंट बॉदर, लेट मी टेल यू ऑल ऑफ यू, आई विल फाइट एवरी लिटिल बिट ऑफ इट। और मैं बिल्कुल डरने वाला नहीं हूं।
ಬಾಬಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರ ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆ ಬರೆದಾರೆ, ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಉಪವಾಸ ಕುಂಡ್ರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಹೊಡೆದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಹೊಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ, ನೇತಾಜಿ ಸುಭಾಷ್ ಚಂದ್ರ ಬೋಸರ ಭಯದಿಂದ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋದ್ರು. ನೇತಾಜಿ ಸುಭಾಷ್ ಚಂದ್ರ ಬೋಸರು 2ನೇ ಮಹಾಯುದ್ಧದ ನಂತರ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಭಾರತದ ಮೊದಲ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿ ಅವರು 4-5 ಭಾಗವನ್ನ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದರ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿ ಅದು ಘೋಷಣೆ ಆಯಿತು. ಅದರದೇ ಒಂದು ಕರೆನ್ಸಿ, ಅದರದೇ ಒಂದು ಧ್ವಜ, ಅದರದೇ ಒಂದು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಗೀತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿ ಮೋದಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನೆಹರು ಭಾರತದ ಮೊದಲ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನೇತಾಜಿ ಸುಭಾಷ್ ಚಂದ್ರ ಬೋಸ್ ದೇಶದ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿ.
आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार कांग्रेस के कार्यकर्ताओं को बड़ा पीड़ित कर रही है, उत्पीड़न बहुत हो रहा है। इसीलिए पंजाब की यूनिट किसी भी हालत में अलायंस नहीं चाहती। वो देख रहे हैं कि अपनी बचत के खातिर इंडिया अलायंस में आम आदमी पार्टी शामिल हो गई है। मेरा ख्याल है इंडिया अलायंस में न आए होते तब तक गिरफ्तार हो गए होते। और सुखपाल खैरा जी चूंकि पहले से आम आदमी पार्टी से आए हैं, इसलिए दुश्मनी निकाल रहे हैं।
The case is of 2015. Aam Aadmi Party government came to power in March 2022. Today we are in September 2023. What was taking so long for the Aam Aadmi Party and its police and government, which is very proactive to pursue cases of all kinds to settle political scores of people who write against Mr. Kejriwal, to go and take action on Mr. Khera for the last 18 months? So it seems that this entire development has taken place after Mr. Bajwa spoke about 32 MLAs of Aam Aadmi Party being in touch with him, after the Congress Party has said that they will contest all the seats in Punjab, after the Congress Party and Aam Aadmi Party have been fighting over the 7 seats in Delhi.
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने जो कोविड के दौरान लोगों की नजरों से परे होकर, जब दुनिया दवाई के लिए तरस रही थी, कोविड में मर रहे थे लोग, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी अपना शीश महल बना रहे थे, करोड़ों रुपए उसमें उजाड़ रहे थे और उसके अंदर करोड़ों रुपए अपनी जेब में डाल रहे थे। अब जब घपले करोगे, पैसे इकट्ठे करोगे तो सीबीआई जांच करेगी। अब अरविंद केजरीवाल जी रोएंगे। क्यों रोएंगे? क्योंकि उनका एक ही मानना कि मैं पैसे जितने मर्जी खाऊं, मैं शराब घोटाले में पैसे खाऊं, मैं बस घोटाले में पैसा खाऊं, मैं क्लासरूम घोटाले में पैसा खाऊं, मैं बिजली घोटाले में पैसा खाऊं, लेकिन आप मेरे से सवाल नहीं पूछेंगे।
पूरी दिल्ली इंतजार कर रही थी कि शीश महल में जो 56 करोड़ रुपए खर्चा है, या बाकी और जो वहाँ पे वियतनाम से पत्थर मंगवाए गए, वहाँ हजारों रुपए के कमोड लगाए गए, लाखों रुपए के पत्थर लगाए, पर्दे लगाए गए, उस सब के लिए दिल्ली की जनता इंतजार के इस पर जांच होनी चाहिए, ताकि पता लगे इस भ्रष्टाचार के पीछे कौन कौन लोग हैं। मुख्यमंत्री हैं खुद, उनके मंत्री हैं पीडब्ल्यूडी के, जहाँ उनके जो बाकी अधिकारी हैं वो भी सबके सब उसमें इन्वॉल्व है। और ये मामला खुलकर आना चाहिए कि किस प्रकार अपने आप को कल तक के कह लें कि हम आम आदमी हैं, हम 4 कमरे का फ्लैट मिलेंगे, उसको बनाने के लिए किस प्रकार से जो आपकी प्रक्रिया है उसको आपने धत्ता बनाकर वह अपना महल बनाया। जल्द पूरी जांच का खुलासा होगा और जो लोग दोषी हैं उनको सजा होगी।
Prime Minister Trudeau made these allegations, and we've been seeing, how this story has taken many different twists and turns. The latest, of course, has been Dr. Jaishankar. I just read out those 5 questions. I'm going to ask you those questions, Abhijit, one by one, and I want your perspective on them. Number one, Abhijit, relations appear to be worsening between the two countries. If you look at what the External Affairs Minister said in New York today, it didn't seem like things are cooling down. But the real question is, what next? How would you answer that, Abhijit?
Look, Shiv, unfortunately, this is going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Because you have sources in government, I have sources in government. I don't know what your sources are telling you, but mine are just not ready to back down. If anything, they are going to go after more properties. And I think today itself, there's been a raid, an NIA raid against about 50 Punjab-based organized criminals. This is going to get a lot worse. The first list of 19 OCI cancellations was just the beginning. This is going to slowly. They don't want a single innocent person to suffer, but they are tracing every single video of protests, etc., to go higher up and higher up and higher up. Second, remember, Arindam Bagchi in his press conference had demanded parity of staff. You haven't seen anything happen out here. We're waiting for something big to come out from the Canadian side to enact that parity. Because if Canada refuses to withdraw staff, we will force that parity on them. The third thing, which I know for a fact that is being discussed, is the shutting down of the Chandigarh consulate. Now, remember, we have 1 High Commission and 2...
You are watching India Today, powered by Finest, Be Sustainable Change, a BNP Group company.
Presented by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Growing Legacies. Co-presented by Century Laminates by Manish Malhotra, Fashion for your furniture.
Co-presented by
Macho Hind, Bade Aaram Se.
Co-powered by PolicyBazaar.com, Har family hogi insured. Co-powered by The Bold Look of Kohler. UBI, good people to bank with. Kirloskar.
Good evening and welcome. You're watching the news track. I'm Rahul Kamal. An India Today special investigation, Operation Beti Bazaar, is my top focus on the news track.
Bartered for cash. Contracted for prostitution. Sold by their own parents. Sinister trade uncovered. India Today special investigation. Operation Beti Bazaar at 8 p.m.
2 states, 1 story. Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, both going to the elections with politicians making tall claims about what they intend to do with these states if they get elected. On the news track tonight,